Yeah, that's probably good.
I might have done more. Oh, Jesus. Pizza. Pizza. Wait, that's Little Caesars, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just inadvertently did a Little Caesars ad. We are not sponsored.
Pizza.
Pizza. I haven't heard that in a long time. Wow, that creeped out of the cobwebs in my brain.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the P Funkin' Fro Show. This is episode 35. My name is Austin Fluman. With me, as always,
Anthony Gorman.
That was exciting.
Yeah.
Dude, Anthony, my phone broke.
Oh, my. Yeah, you told me.
Yep.
You showed me.
Yep.
I tried to boot it into recovery mode.
Yep.
Nope.
Nothing happened.
Safety mode. Nope.
Nope.
Try to wipe cache. Nope. People are like, what the hell's he doing? I did actually try all those things.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, did not work.
It was cool seeing you get into your zone, though, because
That
the
is
first thing I thought when my phone broke, like, all right, so backstory, because I just realized
Oh, yeah.
that we're doing a podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
But so I got up yesterday morning being Monday, January 9th. Yes.
Yeah.
Got up yesterday morning. My phone was on, but I used it for a couple seconds, then it shut down. So then I tried to turn it back on, and it would just, like, you call it a boot loop.
Yeah.
It just goes to the title and turns back off. Goes to the title, turns back off.
Yep.
So I was able to get, like, 2 Snapchats off to Alex yesterday, and that's it.
And that seems like, yeah.
And that was friggin'...
That was probably a 007, like... Dun, dun,
Dude, you should have seen
dun,
it.
dun, dun,
I went in, it turned on. I'm like, oh, I'm at the
Here we
printer
go,
at
look.
work. Yeah,
Yeah.
I went in, like, turned off my Wi-Fi settings, turned on the mobile data just because I was at work and you had to sign into the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'm just going to do the data. Go to Snapchat, send the 2 Snapchats, and it was done. And then it turned off again immediately after that. Wow.
Yeah, so that is leaving. It does sound like it's just overheating and just crashing.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what do you do about that? Apparently nothing.
Nothing.
Apparently the solution to fix that is buy a Nexus 6P.
Well, that's in my opinion, a very good solution. But
Yeah. What
yeah,
phone do
'cause now
you
that
have?
you just mentioned all that, yeah, it does sound like the chip's just overheating. What?
I said, what phone do you have?
The Nexus 6P, if I must say, and I absolutely adore it.
So you
It's-
spent like a year and a half talking it up, and I looked at it. I've been looking at
Yeah.
it for a year and a half, and it looks nice.
And yeah, now it's basically half off of what I paid for mine brand new, which kind of makes sense because it's like cell phones, they definitely fall off on retail value.
They're like cars, right?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
not
once
as
you drive them off
drastic.
the lot.
Yeah, once you buy it off the Verizon store.
Yeah, it does seem like after 3 to 6 months, like they just start taking a nosedive. So it's been out a year, but I absolutely love, like, it's my favorite new phone. So of course it's going to be better than my old new phones,
Right.
But it's my favorite new phone of all time. Like, it's the biggest jump and the best hardware.
It's blown you away the most out of any phone you've ever had.
Yeah, and it's still like I have no need at all and no want. You know me, I'm like
Yeah.
super techie, and I love mobile tech. It's like a
Mhm.
sweet spot for me. But no, I love it. It does everything that I throw at it. Like the 2 big ones were like
Yeah.
Red River Gorge and Out West, and I relied on it heavily, and it just did everything I threw at it.
And it was just fine, yeah.
And it takes amazing photos.
Well, hopefully
Like
this
clarity.
one that's the replacement for my old phone, which was supposed to be fantastic,
Yeah.
it serves the purpose a little bit better.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about like the connotations of me
What do you mean?
breaking my phone.
Oh yeah, so it's kind of life altering for a little bit. Is
Yeah.
that what you're talking about?
For like a few days, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm always getting up here on my high horse talking about how I could totally survive without a phone, right?
Oh
So
yeah, and
now,
you always crave it.
Yeah. This is the universe being like, really now?
Oh really? We're gonna make your processor overheat every 5 seconds.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So I went to the Verizon store to try to get it fixed, and they were like, we think it's the battery. Went to a battery place, tried a new battery. Didn't work.
Mhm.
Didn't fix it. Went back to Verizon. They're like, you could tell they were really uncomfortable because they didn't want to tell me that I had to not only buy a new phone, but pay off my old one because it's halfway through the lease.
Oh,
Because that's
yeah,
how
yeah.
Verizon handles their plans now.
Oh yeah.
So
oh,
I'm
I
still
forgot
like,
all, yeah, I forgot all
yeah,
about
I'm
that.
still like $350 off from paying off the phone that broke.
Oh,
So I would have to
shoot.
buy that outright for like $350, and then I would have to pay the taxes on the new phone that I got from Verizon, and it would be twice the price that it would have if I got it outside of Verizon.
That
So-
is not. I think now that you're just saying that, you're making me become a outright buyer now. I think.
Yeah.
If that's how that happens.
Yep.
So if you got your phone stolen, do you have insurance on it?
No.
Yeah.
You could see the dude's heart sink when I said I didn't have insurance. Too,
Oh,
because
yeah,
he
'cause
knew what he would
phones
have
are
to tell me after that.
Right. I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah. And he whenever he tells people that, they probably like. There's a good chance they'll start flipping out.
Yep, get angry
Because
at
no
them.
one wants a $300 to $400 to $600 shock.
Exactly. It reminded me of when I got remember when I got in that accident? Like I hit the dude in front of me because they slammed on their brake. Like 2 cars in front of me slammed on their brakes, and it was like a chain.
Yeah.
It reminded me of then when the cop gave me a ticket.
Oh yeah, and you
because I was just standing there seething, and you could tell the cop could tell that I was so angry, but I wasn't like
flip your lid. Yeah.
But he still knew he had to. Like you could tell he was very uncomfortable.
He
It
was
reminded me
being
of that,
business.
where like I was so frustrated
At the Verizon.
at the Verizon store.
Yeah, yeah.
But the dude at the store obviously didn't. It's not his fault.
Right.
And
right.
he's just like following whatever his like overlords tell him to do.
Yeah.
So I wasn't angry at him, but I was furious.
Yeah.
You know. So he had to be the one to like. And like I tried my best to be like,
man,
dude,
that
I know
sounds
it's not you. I understand completely. You're
Yeah.
fine, but yes, pretty furious right now. But it all ended up okay because, like I said, like this is gonna be an interesting like few day test.
Yeah.
So I ordered the Nexus 6P. It should be here Friday. Today's Tuesday. I didn't have it at all yesterday,
pretty good.
Monday. So I get like a nice little gap with no phone. So like, if anybody needs to contact me, I just told them through Facebook, and they can see if I can respond to that.
Yeah. Thankfully, we have a lot of different avenues of social
Exactly.
communication.
Yeah.
So that works. Yeah, we were talking before podcast how we can, I was like brainstorming like the lowest thing I could text on, and I realized it was my Kindle, my like Paperwhite thing.
Yeah.
Like I could technically communicate with people on that, like
Yeah.
1 frame per minute if I really needed to.
Yeah.
Just refresh, be like, oh,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. So I'm excited about it.
that's funny.
We'll see how it works out.
So you're gonna continue going phoneless, I'd imagine, because you can still do kind of Facebook at work, you know. on
I can
break
keep like a window of
downtime.
Facebook open at work
Right,
and check
yeah.
my messages every once in a while. Yeah. And it's fine.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I did. But, you know, so busy at work that I hardly have time. Plus, the work computers that we have are street trash. So having any windows open that aren't necessary
Right, that is-
slows them down.
They are street trash.
They're pretty bad.
Yeah.
They're pretty
My
bad.
desktop's the fastest one I ever experienced, and my work computer is by far the slowest that I experience in life. It's like a duopoly there.
Yeah, right. Going back
Crazy.
and forth between the two.
Yeah, it's pretty extremes there. Ugh.
Yeah.
That doesn't help matters too, you know. So I go, yeah.
No, definitely. But yeah, so I'll figure that out. I'll figure it out. See what direction I want to go with this afterwards.
Well, hopefully it comes Friday where you can still go to the store if you need a Sims card. No, I think you can do everything online now or something.
Can you? Like,
I don't know.
change your phone? I
I've
don't
only
know.
been with Sprint, so I have no idea.
Yeah, if anything, mail usually comes before I get home, so I can just check it and then go to the Verizon store. It's like 5 minutes away and have it activated.
Oh, and they're probably open later than 5 or
They're
4
open till,
or
like,
whenever.
7.
Yeah.
So
So Friday you should be able to
I'll have
get
plenty of
back
time.
on. Plus then you have a Nexus. Woo!
We'll be Nexus
You'll
buddies.
be pure Android.
Yeah, I know you're
Mhm.
excited about that.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
When a lot of people like reading, so I would have like, Samsungs and HTC phones and stuff, and I would always hear. So I'm I'm a PC gamer, so I'm like that purist type like
Yeah.
PC gamer.
Oh, I know you're an elitist.
and no,
You're always talking down to me and my
well, this is
PlayStation.
before my monster computer. I was always still just a PC gamer,
Yeah.
just because that's what I had, and through college and
Well,
stuff.
you're into that water cooled nonsense.
Yeah, I do love hardware. But I would read the Nexus phone people back when they weren't really popular at all, and it was just Google's phone that they were just experimenting with.
Mhm.
And they talked like the PC gamers
Oh.
did. So they were like the elite race
Oh,
of
really?
the Android world because they were pure. And once I got it, then I was like, oh, this is like installing Windows fresh on your own hardware with no bloatware at all. You know, it's just clean Windows.
Yeah.
So when I first did that with my PC, I was like, this is lightning fast. I mean, I had SSD and everything, but still, it was
Yeah,
like,
but still.
it was just pure. There's no bloat. It was like a clean slate, and that's what this phone is too. So it's like,
Yeah, because like whenever you buy a computer, there's always crap on it that just comes
yeah,
installed.
Toshiba Dream Maker. Like what?
Yeah.
It's like make your own cartoon face. Like why is this bundled on my computer?
Yeah, why do you just
Get off
assume
here.
that I want this? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
scanning software that for a printer that you don't have. And,
Yeah.
I know. What you mean.
Lenovo's bad about that stuff too.
HP is terrible.
HP is bad. I think everyone's bad, but Lenovo,
Yeah.
like Lenovo makes really fantastic machines.
Let's get a Chromebook.
Unless
Then
you
have
get
nothing.
like the cheaper Lenovos
Right,
and they're
right.
bad. But Lenovo, they're known for building good computers.
I like Lenovo as a company.
Yeah. Only problem is they come with so much stuff on them. They do.
Yeah.
I think they're infamous for that too.
Huh. I would almost. So if I got like a credit somehow for like a laptop and it had to be HP or Lenovo or something,
Yeah.
I would probably just buy a fresh new Windows licensed software. Like, I don't know. I would just format the hard drive. I would just get that shit off.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I would probably,
Just do a clean window install.
I'm afraid to do that with my computer though.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm afraid there's something integral on it that I'll need in the future.
We'll
look at it later.
Yeah, because Windows 10 comes with like touch drivers baked in, so you wouldn't lose that. Yeah.
Shoot. All right.
I mean, you might lose you'd have to redo your drivers, and you'd have to anything that you've
installed.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, that's whatever. I can deal with that.
Yeah.
That won't.
Back in the day, just when I was downloading stuff, like illegal torrents.
What?
No, I mean, damn it.
Oh.
So back in the day when I would download things, I would get like viruses every once in a while, and I had to wipe my computer. So I've had to, out of necessity, start a clean install.
Yeah.
Luckily, back in the day, before I was like super decent with computers, my dad did it for me. He'd just be like, whatever you did to do this, don't do it again. I had to like wipe it.
Because that's like the Wild West.
Back in the day, in my college days, yeah.
Yeah, dude. You can get anything, including lots of viruses.
Yeah, because you had Kazaa, iMesh.
I've only ever heard of Kazaa. I've never used it. What is it?
LimeWire.
Dude, I used the crap out of LimeWire, though. All right, let's go down this rabbit hole, because we've never talked about this in the pod. This was actually
torrenting?
Torrenting, downloading like music. This was a huge...
Yeah, because it was... Everybody knew it was illegal, but everybody did it, especially in school.
Nobody cared,
Everybody did it. And then the threat wasn't like legal action back then. It took like a long time for these companies to get their, big whatever movements going with that. But the threat back then was viruses and malware.
Mm-hmm.
But the viruses and malware were worse than what they are now. I don't know. It depends on how you look at it. So right now they sneak in your computer and you won't know it's on there, and they're stealing all sorts of data.
How does that happen?
Browsing data. Well, a lot of the ways. But back then it used to do that, but also just like kill your computer. Like it was like violent malware. It would just like.
What was the intention behind that?
I don't know.
Making a point.
So.
Because
computers were slower back then, so a lot of times they would use your computer's processing power as like a wireframe. So around the world, they would have thousands of computers to do their bidding.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. So they would visit. Okay. So one example is a site that gets paid ad revenue on how many unique clicks. If you say own that site that got ad revenue, and you were a shady person, you could spread malware where it makes all these computers in the background like hit the website, and you get ad revenue, and it doesn't look like you're doing anything shady because they're coming from thousands of different computers.
Right.
And you can have them just hit it whenever, and all of a sudden, that's just one example of how to monetize malware.
Yeah.
Or you could just straight up steal people's credit card information, bundle it, and sell it to Russia on the black market. On the dark web.
That sounds like some real deep James Bond stuff, but that's 100% something that happens.
Oh yeah, it still happens today, like with the skimmers at the gas stations and things that you hear about.
They put the inserts into the card slot and people swipe, Like
if people are like familiar, I'm not. I just read about this type of thing. Yeah. Like not just like, oh, I got scammed. I like reading about like where does this go? Why? Blah. Anyways. So a lot of times the bigger ones will sell it on the dark web. So if you get, let's say 50 credit card numbers, people will pay you in like Bitcoin and things on the dark web a certain amount. It may be a couple $100, but then they bundle it into like hundreds of cards, and then they sell it to like super hackers that know actually to like gain all this information and then attack at once before they catch on. So then they steal all this crap.
Isn't that terrifying?
Yeah, it's
how
organized. It's like organized crime on the internet.
It is 100% organized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been a victim of that. It's just interesting. Sometimes I read about it. So.
And it's got to be happening en masse.
Oh, yeah. The reason why I said Russian hackers is because there was this one big where they had just thousands of credit card numbers, and they were paying people just to collect them. That's the example I'm drawing this from.
Yeah.
And they got caught, but they were doing it for like apparently a really long time. And,
Hot dang.
Yeah. So it's crazy.
Makes me uneasy about everything. Or, on the other side, it makes me just like want to just be blissfully ignorant about everything, Just like pretend like it's not a thing.
Well, okay,
because
so that was Fire and Brimstone.
So what do you do to like defend yourself from these things besides just not torrenting things?
Well, so for online, like if you're afraid of credit card, the major retail outlets are really.
This feels like a public service announcement.
Yeah, they're like decent with their like security with their checkouts.
Yeah.
Not decent. It's compared back in the day. It's like eBay, PayPal, Amazon. Those are all great. The only time I worry is like these weird websites that I've never been on, but I really want the thing.
Yeah.
Or like yeah.
Yep.
Then it's like I might want to use my credit card, not bank card, for this like website.
Yeah.
But that's rare that I ever have to do that because everything you can usually get on eBay or Amazon these days. But yeah, back in the day, downloading torrents. Yep. Music, movies, games. I
everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember it started with me at my cousin's house. Do you remember WinMX? Do you remember that? So WinMX was
No.
I used to think it was a Windows program before I realized Windows would never come out
for something
yeah,
like that?
exactly. So it's just like a LimeWire. You go on, you search for the songs, and you just download them. But it wasn't as good as LimeWire.
Yeah, LimeWire is pretty popular.
It got to the point where, and I feel like it's something that probably ended with like our generation, but I would download a bunch of songs, get CDs, put them on the CDs.
Oh, I used to do it, yeah.
And then get like this print thing where I can make custom covers for the CDs. Did you have those?
Yeah. No, I mean, I know of them, but I didn't.
Yeah. So that was like my life for a while, where I would like make mix CDs and make cool covers for them.
Yeah.
And I thought it was the best thing ever.
I would just make them for myself just to listen to, like tons of mixes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do the same thing, yeah.
Even back then, like burnable CDs weren't that really expensive because you could buy like a 50-pack for, like
$20 maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I was making above minimum wage, but not that much more. But it wasn't like a break in the bank. So you could get like 50 CDs and just burn whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a kid in my school that did it, and he sold it, so he had like a mini job. I won't name names, but I never monetized any of that, obviously. But.
That's funny. Yeah, I never sold them either. Like, I would help people out. Like, oh, you want this?
That's when you would get in trouble.
You want this Dragon Force CD that I have? Sure. Take it. But it's the same thing as like giving them the first CD and they just rip it, and that's not illegal, is it?
Right. No. Oh,
is it?
I don't know.
Like, I don't know.
I don't know it well enough.
It doesn't see. That's never.
Like
it doesn't seem to be
criticized.
criticized.
Like small print. Cannot reduplicate.
Yeah, but then what's up with like the CDs that are at the public library?
Yeah, I guess the library owns it and just sends it out. Yeah, but people were going to Redbox, getting movies, and then ripping them from that, and video games. But I think that's why there's so many video games that require internet connectivity.
Oh.
So like phones home to see if you got DRM. Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all talking about like the gray and dark web internet here.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the gray web.
Oh yeah, I guess it's just the dark net.
Yeah, I don't do it like anymore, obviously, because I can afford things and because like Spotify, you can
streaming
get like
services
anything.
are so much more streamlined now.
Exactly. Yeah, so there's no reason to anymore.
And they're decently charged, but that's what everybody. So when people were getting sued back when they were pirating movies, a lot of people in the comments I would read would get angry, and they would say, if there was only a way, this is a long time ago, they would say, if there's only a way we could get this for a reasonable price, I would stop torrenting.
Right.
I am not going to spend $25 for a movie I'm going to watch twice, maybe.
Yeah.
This is just ridiculous. So it's one of those arguments. So now that we have Netflix, it kind of has gone away from that. And I will say I don't really download.
You see kind of the same arguments, though. Like, if this were on Netflix, I wouldn't have to go to a shady third-party site and illegally stream it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so if there was like a $30 a month service where you could get anything, there would be so many people that pay for it.
Yeah.
It sounds expensive, but if you literally could get any show...
it's not bad. Yeah.
Now, the likelihood of that happening is very slim because there's so many different companies and production companies that everybody wants their money.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So eventually, I mean, right now I feel like we're in we're in like a good golden age of streaming, and even though you pay for it, it's still, so I pay for Google Music, like monthly.
Yeah.
I pay for Netflix.
Which is like Google's Spotify, basically.
Right, and like iTunes, I guess. Yeah. So it's any song you want or whatever. But yeah, now we have a lot of good options for that.
Yeah.
So it works.
Yeah, it's like it's hard for me because it's the moral dilemma of like, are you entitled to anything? And I think the easy answer is no. Like, as a consumer, you're not entitled to any art that someone else has created.
Yeah, true.
So saying like, if this were cheaper, I would buy it. So I'm inside of my rights to torrent it. It's like obviously not morally or legally
right. Yeah,
valid.
I was just back in the day.
I know what you're
everybody
saying.
Was
That's
young
what they
and
would
everybody
say.
was doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, but
it just seemed.
I feel like some people would argue that they are within their rights to do something like that.
Some people would like, not fair use, but I don't know. That's pretty weak. Just because it is basically stealing. You know,
it is stealing.
Because you're not paying for something. It's like art. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And that goes with video games, music, movies. It's all. If no one paid for anything, none of that would get made.
Exactly.
So it's like just the freeloaders.
So how do you stream movies right now?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Why we didn't have to really go there, Austin. That's a. I pay that with love.
So yeah, it's in the past, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the deep, dark past. It's a good memory, but
yeah,
I don't see myself
West.
Revisiting those territories anymore.
Exactly, yeah. The internet was much more, it did feel like much more of a Wild West type feel.
Mm-hmm.
Felt like just around the corner there was just like, oh, and this popped up.
Yep.
Or this would get taken down, and all of a sudden another one pop up, and yeah.
Yeah, people still figuring out the internet, right?
Yeah, the internet is much more like the mega companies, but honestly, even though I'm paying money for services, it feels much more polished. I have much more content at my fingertips. There's like over content, especially even if you just own Netflix. There's just so much on there. You could spend an hour just like sifting through it.
Yeah.
Or even on YouTube, you don't even have to, buy it.
Especially if you're like into multiple different sources of media.
What was I saying to someone at work? I was hoping. Oh yeah, I was hoping that I could. It would be awesome if I had like a clone of myself that I just set on default to play video games and watch TV shows and things, and it would like stream into my brain as well. I was like, oh yeah, experience that. I want that person on full time just playing video games, because I like you said, I have a backlog on Steam, my video game
that will never
that
end.
I used to buy like on the Steam sales, like, oh my god, it's only $5. Buy.
I know what you mean.
Play.
I do the same crap with the PlayStation Store. Like the same crap.
It's like so cheap.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll play it eventually.
Yeah. It's so cheap to not buy. Why not buy it?
Yep.
And then, of course, it never gets played.
Nope. But they got your money, so they don't care.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah. So, we're going to take a quick break.
All right.
And be right back with episode 35 of the P Funk and Fro Show. Woo. Sit down and grab a nice glass of
warm milk.
And we're back.
Woo!
Already. We didn't
that was the quickest break ever.
We didn't actually take a break.
Yeah, listeners might think we usually take like a 5. Well, we kind of do.
Yeah, I'd like to wonder what they think we do on the breaks.
Well, this last break was exactly 15 seconds ago. I was like stretching, and all of a sudden we're back.
Yeah. So I want to talk about life, Anthony.
All right,
What's going on in your life right now?
Oh, Jesus. I thought you were going to start.
I can if you want to roast a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm like, wait a minute, what is going on?
All right, so let's talk about this weekend.
All right.
First, let me remember what exactly I did this weekend. I did a lot of stuff. Did a lot of hanging out with people. Did a lot of stuff. I tried roller skating for the first time. Guess who sucked at first?
How was it? You've ice skated.
Yes.
And so now you're roller skating. Man, you're really trying to get the. Okay.
I really want to be able to move quickly on 2 feet. That's
on wheels on your feet. Yeah.
So I tried this again.
Okay.
At first,
without ice this time.
No ice, only a very slippery floor. And
wait, were they rollerblades or the 4 wheels in each?
It was like a quad.
Yeah.
On each foot.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm gonna interject, but I'll wait.
Okay. All right, I can see you just ready to pounce.
Okay, so growing up, I always thought rollerblades were way easier than the old style skating.
You inline? So there's inline
Yep.
and then there's other. What do you think is easier?
Inline.
You think inline's easier?
With the 4 wheels in the
No,
row?
I'm talking inline like there are wheels in a line. Like ice skates,
rollerblades.
but ice skates, but
Yes, infinitely better.
you think they're easier?
Yeah, oh yeah.
How?
That's just hard.
It's like a line.
Infinitely better.
So okay.
The
I'm not saying they're not better. I'm just saying you think they're easier?
For me, they easier, yeah.
Wow.
Because the 4, I always feel like you have to keep your feet flat,
Interesting.
like parallel or whatever.
Flat.
Yeah, flat
Sure.
on the surface in order for it to go. But the rollerblades, you can
Shift your weight side to side?
Yeah, shift your weight side to side.
So the thing with that is you have to have like ankle strength.
Well, okay, so rollerblades that I remember, or inline skates, had like ski boot type things. So you would strap them, and they would like really lock in. They were hard plastic.
Yeah,
that would
okay.
go like up past your ankle, like up on the shin. And I think that's the only how they work well.
Huh.
Yeah, because if you could turn your ankle on inline skates or rollerblades,
Yeah.
that'd be bad news. Yeah,
Wow.
kind of like ice skating. So you kind of have to get a really tight boot.
Dude, maybe that was my problem with the ice skates
I think
again.
that's what
and
a
I
lot
think
of
I
people's
mentioned
problem is.
it.
Yeah,
But
because
I
like
thought
a
I
lot
was
of
just
people
being a
pick
baby.
the ones that would feel comfortable like as a shoe, but you really need something like super tight, and you really got to lace them all the way up like
Shoot,
super
dude.
tight.
wow.
Yeah, because you don't want to break your ankle. That's probably why. Not break your ankle as in breaking it physically, like the bone,
But hurting
like
it a
break
lot.
it at all. Like you want it to be like stiff in the boot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stiffen the boot.
Yeah.
Keep
Same
a
thing with
stiff
the
upper boot.
So yeah, I guess I never thought of that when you said you were having issues.
Well, so
That's
here's
probably
the,
at least half the problem.
So I like saying it's at least half the problem.
I
but
think
let's,
it is.
But
It sounds
let's
like it.
but let's also acknowledge the fact that with these 4-wheel skates,
Yeah.
I still was on my butt half the time.
Oh really?
But in the beginning, yeah.
Yeah.
So like in the beginning, yeah, it was horrible. Not horrible, as in
Yeah.
not fun, but I was horrible at it.
Yeah.
Lots of falling, but as I kept doing it, I kept getting more aggressive and also more comfortable. And it
Okay.
started to get like really freaking fun.
Yeah.
But
I
at
got
the same
rollerblade-
time,
skating's
the
fun.
faster you go, like the harder the wipeouts are. So I
Oh,
would
yeah,
bite
yeah.
off more than I could chew constantly because that's
Yeah.
what I do with everything.
I see. Yeah.
and
yeah.
the wipeouts got more intense. And I was like, flying around everywhere.
C'est la vie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in your defense, you remember like a few seconds ago when I said you were crazy for thinking inline skates were easier?
Yeah.
I've never actually tried inline skates.
Okay.
So I don't
yeah.
know where I'm coming from that, but just imagining.
I don't even know where I'd get some.
Me
Yeah.
neither.
I'm trying to think. I'm like, man. Yeah, I would actually kind of like it. It kind of looks dorky these days. I think they got a bad rap towards the end of the 90s.
Yeah. A lot of things did. At
They
the end of the
become real
90s.
dorky.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but
Everything.
I
that's-
loved them as a kid. Man, they were fun.
Yeah, they are fun once you
Yeah.
get them. Like
Yeah.
going fast on anything is fun. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, I totally agree with that. So anyway, I didn't mean to go on about like rollerblading for
Yeah.
that long, but I'm glad we did.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I did that this weekend, and just the moral of the story is this weekend was extraordinarily packed, except for Sunday.
Okay.
So Sunday, like, I
was that a
forced.
skating rink? Or-
Yeah, it was a skating
Okay.
rink. Yeah. So Sunday, I basically was like, and you know how last week was for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Basically, last week was one of the busiest, most like I got the smallest amount of sleep last week.
Oh
that I've
yeah,
gotten
you
in
were
a long
like a
time,
walking zombie.
for an entire week.
Yeah.
So by the time Sunday rolled around and I had literally no plans, I was like, Austin, you're not doing anything.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I kept wanting to get up and start cleaning,
And you're like, nope.
and I was like, stop
Yeah.
cleaning, go play BioShock. So
I don't know, man. For me, like video games, that's like it doesn't cook the brain, but it still requires thought process.
yeah, I can see that.
And even yeah,
It does require a thought process, but it also takes me away from thinking about anything else.
I see what you're saying.
So it's escapism for me.
wow.
basically.
Okay. Yeah.
So did that, and I did yoga, chilled it out, and it was awesome. It was a fantastic day of recovery. But it got me to thinking, right?
Yeah. Yoga will do that. Yeah.
It got me. Oh shoot! I completely forgot. Also on Saturday night after I went roller skating,
Yeah.
I don't even know if I've told you about this.
I didn't.
So another gift of the internet, right?
Yeah.
So I've been wanting to kind of hone my drumming or like do something with music for a while,
Yeah.
and I just never end up doing anything. So
Okay.
I had this burst of inspiration at 3 a.m, like a few weeks ago, or like a couple weeks ago, where I was
Mhm.
like, you need to find something now or you never will.
Yeah.
So I got on Craigslist and I found these dudes that were looking for a drummer.
Oh,
And
you can't.
so I
think you
messaged
started-
him.
Yeah. Yeah.
ended up going over there Saturday after roller skating and jamming with them. And it was literally one of the most natural experiences of my entire life.
Really?
I sat down on the drums. The dude started playing a riff on the guitar. I started playing along with it, and then the bass kicked in. Like, this was with no preparation.
That's funny.
We just immediately started playing, and it was so good.
Really?
It was so cathartic, and it felt perfect.
So it was you and 2 others?
Yeah, me and a guitar player and a bass player.
Yeah.
So that's not the last time that we will play.
Oh, it doesn't sound... I mean, it sounds like you guys, like, instantly
we totally
gelled.
vibed, bro.
I remember you told me that you were thinking about doing it. I didn't know you actually... I don't think I knew you went.
I acted on it.
Yeah.
So now let's make a list, right?
So what was the Craigslist ad like? So they were like...
It was like...
looking for a drummer free, basically?
So it was like a pop... If somebody's looking for a drummer, they're looking to include you in the band. You're not going to pay anyone to drum for them. If anything, they'll pay you.
Yeah, that's what... Yeah. Well, I was wondering, like, if they're offering payment, like...
So not at this point. It's just kind of like you're doing it for the potential. Like, so
that makes sense.
So we're gonna go back and forth and get some tracks down, and eventually, like, maybe get some vocalists, and they have contacts around the area.
What about me?
I mean, that was beautiful. That was a good. That was a good audition.
I'm kidding. That's what
laid on some bars, Anthony.
That's my That would be my.
What about me?
Yeah. Thank you. Here's my card.
You get.
It's like, what about me? 1-800 about me. People are like, who the F is this guy?
Yeah, dude.
This guy paid money to have, like, website www.allaboutme. Or what about me? You go to the website, it's just like one soundbite. What about me?
People, there's a higher button below it.
Yeah.
There's a play button and a higher button.
You'd be like, I charge $85 an hour.
Hired. It automatically charges their card.
Yeah. I didn't even put my credit card in.
Right. So you're hired, Anthony.
Great.
But
yes.
So that's another. It's like beginning of 2017. This is already kicking off. I can see it becoming something. If it's not, I know that there's this entire avenue of Craigslist where there's got to be like a million other people that are also looking.
Oh yeah, if that happens, I'm sure there's more. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like. And they want to play live, and this is a way to make money, right? Cool. So I have this. I did the DJ gig at the end of last year. I've got that. I've got all these different avenues of potential funding, right? So I'm looking forward into 2017, and I just have this freaking premonition.
Okay. Anthony. What is that?
This just like...
Sounds serious.
This like... It's not that serious.
It's super serious.
This like feeling in the back of my head that at some point this year, I'm going to end up doing something drastic.
You're pregnant.
Anthony! I didn't say it's happening right now.
Oh, dang it. Did I ruin it?
No.
Okay, good.
We're going to wait until next week.
You'll tell me after the podcast.
I'm not pregnant. How could I get...
I've got baby names. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm not pregnant.
Okay, Austin's not pregnant. Whatever.
No. Am I showing?
No, that's not what I was inferring.
You just think I'm fat, dude.
I really just meant, you're getting a little chubby.
But anyway, you're missing the point, right?
Yeah, right.
So, I feel like 2017 is going to be the year that I take a giant risk. I don't know what the risk is going to be.
Really?
But I feel like I'm going to end up taking a leap of faith sometime this year. I can feel it happening.
You're going to go on tour with a Craigslist band. Now I'm trying to think. Now you got my brain churning. I'm like, what could happen?
That, Anthony, that is possible.
Yeah.
That is a possibility.
That's one example. You're kind of alluding to, like, that's just one. It could be anything.
It could be anything.
Oh,
all I'm saying is, like, I'm casting a wide net. There are a million possibilities.
So you want a major life upheaval. You're kind of wanting that.
I just feel one coming.
Wow. I'm kind of, now that I'm moved out on my own, I'm kind of, I
know what you mean.
I haven't really put any thought into it.
You're like rolling.
I mean, the moving out was the big thing for me. So now I'm like,
you're rolling in the situation that you're in.
Okay. I can see that. Yeah.
That was a big life upheaval, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you're saying.
I already did mine, Austin. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kind of shocked. That's why I have like no real words to say here. So
well, I know what you mean. And I don't even know what you would say because I don't even know what it would be.
Yeah, it's the first time you bring it up.
There's like a lot of potential possibilities of what it could be. So I don't know.
Now everything you do, I'm going to be like, Austin,
come back to ground.
Don't move to Antarctica.
Come back to base.
I know snow. Polar bears are cool.
Polar bears are cool.
Yeah, one day you're just like, I like polar bears.
Polar bears aren't home.
No, what?
I don't know.
Oh, like if yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. So that's kind of where I've been sitting mentally lately. Like, I'm very happy with where I am right now. I'm very content with life right now.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh, wow.
But also, I was going to say earlier, to make a list of internet gifts that I've gotten recently, it's hilarious if you think about it. This house, right? Craigslist. Yeah. That band, Craigslist.
Yeah, Craigslist.
Girlfriend, internet.
Yeah.
Everything that I have is from the internet.
Yeah, the internet, give us.
What would I have done, like, 15 years ago?
Yeah, that epiphany happened on that bike out in Seattle. I was like, the internet will provide for me.
Exactly.
Because I was relying on Airbnbs and Ubers and bikes. And, yeah. So, I love it. Yeah.
So where where you at, Anthony? What you been thinking about recently? I mean,
what have I?
Like you just said, like you had your New Year's thing. You've been rolling downtown.
Okay,
you've been kind of getting into the swing of things, and it seems like you're just kind of
I feel like I'm in the before the boom part. Like for the downtown moving out.
That's a great way to say that.
Yeah, because it was like because it's the like, oh my god, it's awesome, and then the boom part is gonna be springtime when I can bike day and night, and there's gonna be festivals, fireworks, parades, groups of random people doing random drinking and
misogyny.
Partying. Well. There's a massage parade, I guess, in Cincinnati, maybe.
Massages.
Oh, what did you say?
Misogyny.
Oh, no.
Silly.
No, just like tons of things to do because I moved in mid-October. So I will admit, like the first month was like getting my bearings, like just walking from my place to my car, and it was just like, oh my god, city,
figuring
don't get
it
run
out.
over. Yeah, I'm trying to learn, riding on the streets is different, even though I kind of did out west, but that was just a brief period of time. But anyways, so it was just like getting my comfort zone. I feel like I'm pretty damn comfortable down there now, where I don't need to have Google Maps constantly on my phone, walking around like a noob downtown,
Like how I would walk around if I walked around downtown.
Well, because I've just been starring things, and as I go, everything's on foot and bike.
Yeah, your fog of war is slowly clearing.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So I'm not driving to these places. I'm like walking. So on my way, I'm looking and I'm validating with Google Maps as I'm going, and yeah. So at least in my like immediate and like kind of bigger area, way comfortable. So, and my comfort level is just going to go up before spring because there's more couple months before that's even going to happen. So I feel like, man, when it gets warm out, it's going to be the boom cut, boom. So I think it's going to be tons of fun. I'm just going to be all over the place. I feel like I'm going to have so much to do, I'll be exhausted.
What's going to be your first celebratory boom?
Oh, my first so there is a big one. So the big thing I want to do when it warms up is actually start adventuring with my bike over on the Kentucky side. Oh, like ride from
Covington?
My place to Covington. So start mentally mapping out that area and my efficient way to get over there via bike and get that down.
Covington's dangerous.
So it's like in video games. Well, not at night. I'm not going to be like 2 a.m. riding my bike around. Yeah. But like during the day. So, okay, say I have a good book or I want to write something. Maybe I'll get back into blogging, even though I only did that for 3 times.
Yeah.
Put my laptop in my backpack. Find a new spot. Because I haven't hit all the restaurants, but there's even more restaurants on the Kentucky side. Just to venture.
And like where Tyler used to live, like
around that Main Strasse.
There were a lot of really good restaurants around there.
Yeah.
Like fantastic restaurants.
So say I want to do like a Saturday afternoon where I want to read a book in a park or like a grass area that I've never been to before, and I just go on Google Maps. This is just what I'm imagining. I've been thinking about this for a while too. That I'll just map out my path. I'll already hopefully know how to get over there efficiently with my bike. And then I'll just backpack it and just kind of make a day. I like doing that.
That sounds like a great chill day, dude.
And you're getting exercise because you're riding your bike over.
And you're seeing new things, meeting new people.
Yeah, things like that. So what I love to do on afternoons that I have free time and I want to explore is pack a book, a laptop, something, and then find a chill place outside, and then a new place that I've never ate at before.
Yeah.
And just do that.
Kind of
spend a couple hours just riding around.
That's the boom, huh?
Yeah. Well,
I know.
The boom part is I just feel like this is just me anticipating it. I just feel like that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like
it'll happen naturally.
More people are going to want to do things outside and do more things even during the week.
And there'll be more activities downtown.
Weekend.
In general.
Right. Yeah, because there's so many festivals and things to do. And
there's like something going on every weekend in downtown Cincinnati.
Yeah, when it's
like
warm
constantly.
out. Yeah, it's like bigger things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just randomly.
It's like Reds games, because a lot of times people are like, hey, I got these tickets, or hey, we're going here, or hey, we're doing this. But I would live so far away that it would be like kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
But if I'm just flipping down there like a 15, 20-minute walk away or a 5-minute bike ride away, man, I'll have no excuse not to.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the point of why I moved down there, is to force myself to, explore, or to give myself a fertile bed to explore.
Yeah, plant the seeds so that you can now sow them in the springtime.
Right. Yep.
That sounded really good coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, plant the seeds so you can sow them in the springtime. Reap the harvest. Reap it.
Boom.
Yeah, boom. Reap the boom.
There we go. Dude, you get t-shirts made.
That is...
Reap the boom.
I'd be like, oh, how's your day going? I'm reaping this damn boom.
And then they like, let's go, kids.
They'd be like, okay, yeah, that guy's clearly on some sort of stimulant.
PCP guy.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So outside of that, where do you see this podcast going, Anthony? Because I feel like I like the podcast.
I like it too.
I want it to keep going.
Yeah.
I feel like it's about time. My creative juice is about to start flowing. I feel like we need to start thinking about different ways to reformulate it a little bit.
Okay.
Right?
So I keep saying this, but I want to email and talk to the staff, the property management. I want something done with that theater. I want them to do something with it in the middle. So I would love to do a podcast down there, and that's going to be one of the things that I would like mention, like movie nights.
Elaborate a bit on the theater.
Oh yeah, so I brought it up before, but just to give people an idea, I live in an old school that was built in 1908, and
big school,
big halls,
big
and
downtown Cincinnati school.
Yeah, so like a big city school.
Yeah,
5 stories, big 20-foot ceilings at every floor. So it's just a monster building.
It's huge. It's awesome.
And I feel like I live in a castle. Anyways, in the center of this building, there is a big 2-level theater, like for shows.
Like you would imagine there being like
plays,
a tiny version of a Broadway show.
Right. Yeah. They could sit a decent amount of people, and it's a big stage.
It is.
And
I got on that stage, and I was just like, oh,
it was pretty neat.
I must perform here.
Yeah. So
in some capacity.
Yeah, and I just feel like what I would love is they'd be like, if you free to like pass out things, see if other people are interested in doing things like that, kind of as like a community group type thing where we would kind of run it, but always run everything by the property management, obviously, and then just kind of like work with that, kind of build a community thing. And then it could be movie nights, and then we could have our podcast, because I would be like on the board, I guess.
Yeah.
Just decisions and throwing spitball ideas, because I don't think they'd mind.
Dude, do you think
it's just us sitting there talking?
So, do you think if we offered to help them clean it up, if they'd let us?
I don't know if they do that because of liabilities.
Yeah,
so the reason why I've been like hesitant to actually email them yet is because my place has been kind of under construction, but the theater part, I don't know. It does need clean up. I don't know when they're going to be done with it, because they were using it to like construct tables and as like a work area on a stage. So maybe that'll be a goal for the next coming week. I'll email them just to spitball ideas and if they have future plans. And I hope to God they'll say we're just locking it up. Oh, that'd be such a... Because it's locked right now, because we were sneaking into it.
Yeah.
These past couple months, and the last time I tried to get in there, they have it all locked up.
Well, the place was awesome because it was the acoustics were so great. You could sit on the opposite side of the room and whisper.
Yes.
And somebody could hear you from the other side.
That's true, yeah.
So great.
That's true, yeah, I remember that.
Can you imagine? I'm just thinking like a P Funk and Fro show is live with a band.
That'd be pretty cool. I don't know who would show up. Yeah, that would be... But then...
My band.
Yeah. Your band, and then as long we could like stream it on video, because it'd be like more of a bigger event.
Yeah, it'd be a show.
Yeah, even if there wasn't a lot of people in the seats.
Yeah,
or whatever.
We could live
still
stream
look cool,
and we could put fake people digitally into the seats
with like fishing line.
Yeah, like CGP, like puppets. They look like the Canadians from South Park.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a great show.
Yeah, good job. This is the best show I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I definitely agree that the potential is there.
Okay,
People
so
can throw
I'll
live.
email them. Yeah, they seem like a pretty cool management team so far.
Really?
Yeah, they seem fun. They're like hiding little gifts during Christmas around the building and things like that.
Oh, and we have our own PA system now, or at least I do.
Oh yeah,
so we can make use of that.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So hopefully there's more to come with that. That'd be part of the boom.
That would be
That'd be
a
pretty
huge
cool.
boom.
That'd be a lot going on.
Imagine if we could somehow just blow this thing up and make revenue from it somehow.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
Entertainment.
Get sponsored by
Sponsored by Nike.
Or I was thinking
I'm just a big shoe.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like something goofy local in Cincinnati,
Heinz
but
ketchup.
I can't think of anything.
Oh, get sponsored by like Kellogg's.
Geta.
Geta.
Like there's no company, it's just Geta, the damn meat.
It's just Geta.
We're sponsored by meat.
Yeah.
We're not getting any money, but
Geta of all kinds.
yeah. And if people out of Cincinnati have never heard of Geta, just Google it.
Skyline.
Yeah. Skyline.
Yeah,
would be sponsor us.
The People Funkin' Pro Show Live.
I'm feeling good. It's Skyline time.
Yep. So what else? Got any other ideas?
Oh man, I don't know. That's just what's coming on the horizon.
So I mean, I was listening to other podcasts recently, and they were giving me potential ideas for what we could do with this.
Okay.
So
for our podcast, yeah.
Yeah. So for example, I was listening to this NPR podcast. It was
Okay, I hear a lot of people listening.
Friggin', what was it called? Radio something.
Radio Lab?
That's it.
Okay.
I was listening to that because
that's a really good. That's a really
so Alex was into
podcast.
it, so she told me to listen to it.
Yeah.
And I was like, that sounds great, and it was great. It was interesting.
Yeah.
It also gave me like so I'm listening to it, and they don't just all the podcasts that I've traditionally listened to have just been conversations that are just like people talking straight for an hour.
Okay. Yeah.
That's all I've ever listened to. Radio Lab is like heavily edited segments where it bounces back and forth between people talking in an interview and people like the two hosts talking to each other. So it's like the different pieces intertwined together to make a show, and there's music playing in the background, and I'm like, this is a lot. It's like a lot of stuff. Like it's attainable. I could do it if I had more time, but like it's attainable. But then I listened to the end of the podcast, and they were listing the credits. And they just kept naming more and more and more and more people that worked on the podcast. There was like 30 to 50 people.
I was going to say, because it's highly polished, and I cannot imagine the work that goes into it.
Like 50 people that work for a 25-minute podcast.
It's pretty popular.
That we could easily do, as two people if we had more time. Easily.
Oh, if we didn't have jobs.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I mean, if that's the only thing we did, maybe. Like that has to be a lot of work.
Well, so it got me thinking. Like the only thing keeping us back from doing something like that is like a couple more people. Because even if we had a couple people, like we could do something like that. Go out and maybe do interviews and come back and like edit it together. The editing's the biggest part, and really that's not that hard.
Yeah, editing's such a time sink.
And I mean, even if we did like this podcast every week and we did a monthly episode of something else.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So, like a more polished show every month. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking something like that would be cool.
Okay.
And we could put music in the background that like Mitch wrote.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
I've just been thinking
I mean, you already
like
do
that.
wonders with I mean, if people don't understand, Austin does all the editing. He does all like the music inserts, and it just sounds great. It's very. I mean, it's polished considering for what we do.
Like two people, right?
Yeah, it sounds great.
Well, thank you, Anthony. But yeah, so it got.
I could have. But I understand what you're saying. Like some podcasts are just really polished, but I do remember because I have listened to a couple Radio Labs, like specific ones about like because I was interested in that specific topic,
right?
And I just remember thinking, oh wow, they're on a next level. Like even because Joe Rogan, like you said, a lot of podcasts are just two people and they talking. Like, he has one assistant do all of it just because it's just two people talking.
Well, yeah, exactly.
But like Radio Lab, and some of these, like I was listening to, I think it's Serial, which is like a murder mystery type thing.
Yep.
Or Sword and Scale. Okay. So they don't have many. It's because it was mainly like him and maybe a couple other people. I'm not sure how many people are working with him. But man, so polished. And it was just like, oh, I wish you could do more like this. Yeah. But yeah, you'd have to have a team of 20 people.
Or 3.
To pump it out.
3 people. Like I was listening to those credits and I'm like, they are ripping these people off. Because it does not take this many people. Well, except for... So it's also critical that they have fact checkers.
Yeah,
because it's a scientific... So they have needs that we don't have, obviously. And we could put together the things that they do.
Because they're owned by like a major... publication.
But producing wise, we could do everything that they do easily.
Right, yeah.
We just need like to divide the resources somehow with more people.
Yeah. The challenge is getting more people.
Exactly.
Maybe Craigslist. You said the internet. Yeah. The internet provides. We both agree
exactly.
with that.
But yeah, I mean, I guess if anybody out there also wants to creatively collaborate on ideas for the podcast, we'd be definitely open to that. Yeah, opening up the door to anyone else. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, Craigslist might be a bad idea. Because then we get like Jim
I don't
Bob.
know, dude. Craigslist it's robbed me some pretty good,
That's true.
A pretty good yield.
Some people might just want to edit things. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are people like that.
Yeah.
I would get a lot more sleep if that was the case.
Yeah, that's true. Just farm it out.
Yeah. I see a lot of potential with this podcast, Anthony.
Yeah.
I don't know where it could go, but I do agree that it could possibly boom somehow. And Faris was true. Like, I want to make this podcast explode.
Oh, yeah, he did say that. That's funny.
We'll see where it goes. Yeah, I'm excited for that in 2017 in general.
That'd be pretty crazy. We would definitely have a like basement to, like a garage band.
Oh, yeah.
The scenario going on there.
Oh, definitely. Can you imagine this room?
Because we're so used to it now. But like if we ever got a studio, we'd be like, man, we were doing that on your desktop computer. And having like guests over and just you would be frantically like plugging things in and turning knobs and telling people to check, mic, check.
I love preemptively thinking about that now.
And we're using a card table.
There's
nothing wrong with it.
There's a puzzle on it.
Yeah, there's other like extracurricular activities going on in it. Usually,
I was doing a puzzle earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Zelda puzzle. If you want to help me build a puzzle,
I like it.
To come over.
It works.
Thanks. But yeah, so I see a lot of potential in 2017 that I didn't necessarily see with 2016. And 2016 ended up being extremely huge, like we talked last week.
Yeah, it was very eventful.
It was.
I would say for both of us, yeah.
Yeah. And if anything crazy happens in my life in 2017, I'm dragging you with me.
All right. Oh my God.
In some way.
Anthony, I'm moving to Japan.
Anthony, I found a way to do a travel podcast. We have to go across the globe.
Hey, man, if it pays the bills. No, because you know me, I love traveling.
You know it. But yeah, we'll hash it out. If anybody else has any ideas for creative influences on the podcast or ideas, we would be glad to hear them.
Yeah, this just brings me to mind. Chi-Town said one of her coworkers was FaceTiming with Floyd Mayweather.
What?
The boxer? Like, I guess her coworker friend's dad was driving him somewhere, and he was in a car, and he said that to him, and then he said, "Oh my God, FaceTime me!" And then he FaceTimed, and Floyd Mayweather had the phone as he answered the phone. Like Floyd Mayweather answered his dad's phone.
Oh my God!
And so we're talking, and so my joke to Chi-Town was, get him to come on the podcast guest. So I feel like maybe like just one.
That's
like, somehow like some random Joe Rogan somehow gets on there and just hashtag Joe Rogan. All of a sudden it's just like
huge,
5,000 views.
Yep.
Maybe. I don't know.
It only takes one spark. We just have to figure out how to maintain it after that.
That's true. That would be We'd have to go in.
We can maintain
excite mode.
Yep. Exactly.
We'd have to be like, oh my God, what do we do with all these? That would be fun though.
That would be a lot of fun.
Hey, things like that has happened in the past many times.
Mm-hmm.
In all different fields of things.
I mean,
all different realms of things, rather.
Yep. And look at Elvis.
Look,
he's famous.
Yep. Well, he did was he started gyrating his hips. Maybe I should start doing that.
This is not a video podcast anymore.
What?
We'll make a GIF of you gyrating.
And all of a sudden that gets the views. Like, look at this guy.
Oh wow, we got 5,000 views for some reason. Gyrating guy
doing the lip thing. Who's this guy think he is? Some sort of internet Elvis?
Yeah, internet Elvis.
They just listen to make fun.
That's okay. We still get the clicks.
Hey, I'd still do it. Yeah,
I would too.
I start gyrating harder. More gyration, more clicks.
I think we need to flip this van, Anthony.
Yeah,
I think we need to pull this over.
Yeah. Pull the plug on that.
Yeah, we need to pull the plug on this one. But
that was a terrible idea.
No, if you for some reason liked this episode of the P-Funk and Fro Show, it's been episode 35. We're gonna put these up every week, every Friday. You can get them on iTunes, subscribe, Android podcast services all around, the Google Play Store,
third-party apps, everything.
You can get them on your Wii U tablet.
Yeah, you could probably get it on somehow your Kindle.
We're going to post them on Facebook.
Anything with a processor in it.
Your Game Boy Color.
Your TI-83 calculator.
You have an advanced
If we had a big enough fan base,
toaster.
Someone would put it on a TI. They would somehow get it to work. The internet's crazy.
Then we'll be back next week. This has been episode 35, and until next time, we'll see you folks later.
Later.